Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pods. I am Leonardo.
Whoa! Good morning, students. And I'm Elizabeth.
Today, we are diving into something a little different, like really different.
Different good or different,
Oh, definitely different good. Today, we are exploring an essential topic for anyone looking to excel in English. Hey there, welcome to this deep dive all about wealth building. We're going to be taking a look at how to become rich in life, a comprehensive guide, and really try to pull out the good stuff. You know what I mean? You're here listening, so you're clearly looking for more than just money, right? You're looking for that roadmap to like a really fulfilling life. Well, get ready because we're going to be busting some myths, revealing some surprising strategies, and giving you some concrete steps that you can actually start taking today.
Yeah. You know what really stands out to me about this guide? It goes way beyond the usual financial advice. Like, it digs into the mindset and habits behind real lasting wealth. It's like those subtle shifts in perspective that can make all the difference.
Yeah, I love that. It's not just about getting more money, it's about building a life of purpose and abundance. Now, the guide starts by asking us to define what rich even means. It's not one size fits, all right?
No, not at all. The guide actually breaks it down into 3 categories: financial freedom, wealth for happiness, and generational wealth. So first, financial freedom, that's about having the resources to cover your expenses without being tied to a job, you know?
Yeah, so it's about having options and being flexible, not being stuck in the daily grind.
Exactly. And then there's wealth for happiness. It's all about using your resources to pursue your passions, like traveling, giving back to your community, supporting loved ones.
I like that one. Using your wealth to create experiences and make a positive impact.
Exactly. And then lastly, we have generational wealth. That's focused on building a legacy for your family. Things like creating a family business, investing in your children's education, leaving a financial safety net for future generations.
Makes you think bigger picture, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of impact do you want to have, not just for you, but for the people that come after you? It's interesting how these different definitions can like overlap and influence each other.
Definitely. I mean, pursuing financial freedom could give you more time and resources. Time and resources to focus on things that make you happy, which contributes to wealth for happiness.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like one type of wealth can open doors to other types of abundance. Okay, so before we get too lost in these big ideas, let's get practical. The guide talks a lot about a wealth mindset. What exactly is that?
Well, a wealth mindset is all about building those beliefs and habits, the ones that support financial growth. It's seeing opportunities instead of limits, staying positive when things get tough, and thinking long term. Understanding that wealth isn't just luck. It's about making choices and consistently taking action.
So instead of saying, I can't afford that, you ask, how can I make that happen?
Exactly. You shift your focus from scarcity to abundance. You start believing in your ability to create the financial future you want.
I'd love to hear an example of someone who succeeded because of their mindset.
Oh, sure. Take Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. When she started out, she got rejected constantly by manufacturers and investors. Most people would have given up, but Sarah believed in her idea. She didn't let those setbacks stop her.
Yeah, that's amazing. That refusal to give up on her dream.
Exactly. And that's a key part of the wealth mindset. It's about viewing challenges as chances to grow and learn. Sarah's positive attitude helped her build a billion-dollar company. Proof that mindset really matters.
Wow, that's incredibly inspiring. So we've got the right mindset now. What's next on the wealth building journey?
Well, the guide emphasizes setting smart goals. I know it might sound basic, but you'd be surprised how many people skip this step.
Right, it's not enough to just dream about being rich. We need concrete plans.
Exactly. SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Okay, so instead of saying, I want to be financially free, a SMART goal would be something like, I want to save $10,000 for a down payment on a rental property in the next 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you make the goal feel real and give yourself something to aim for. And the guide recommends having goals for different time frames: short-term, medium-term, and long-term. That way you stay focused and motivated.
It's like breaking down a marathon into smaller runs.
That's a great way to put it. And just like a runner needs fuel, building wealth requires understanding financial literacy. The guide compares it to building a house on a strong foundation.
So we're not just winging it. We need to know the basics of personal finance to build a secure future.
Right. Without a good grasp of things like investments, budgeting, saving, and tax planning, you're more likely to make mistakes that cost you.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people get intimidated by all the financial jargon. and they just avoid it altogether.
I get that. But the guide assures us that there are so many resources out there. Resources to make learning about finances fun and easy. You don't need to become a financial expert overnight. You can gradually build your knowledge over time.
Speaking of building, the guide is big on multiple income streams. It's like that saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. Relying only on your job for money can be risky, especially in today's world. The guide suggests creating multiple streams of income, and it breaks them down into 3 categories: active, passive, and business.
Okay, so active income is what most of us know. It's your regular job, your freelance work, anything where you're trading time for money.
Yeah, that's right. Then there's passive income where the money works for you. Think rental properties, dividends from stocks, royalties from a book you wrote.
Gotcha. And then business income is all about starting your own thing. Maybe a side hustle or a whole company. I can see how these different streams can create a more secure financial future.
Absolutely. If one stream dries up, you've got others to rely on. It also helps you build wealth faster since you have more to invest.
Do you have a real-life example of someone successfully building multiple streams?
Sure. Imagine a graphic designer working full-time at an agency. That's their active income. Then they start creating and selling online courses, teaching design skills. That's passive income. And on weekends, they freelance designing logos and websites. That's their business income.
Wow, so they've created a whole portfolio of income. They're not relying on just one thing.
Exactly. And that not only gives them financial security, but also flexibility. They have more control over their time.
That's the dream, right? To be able to choose how you spend your time and do what you love. Now let's talk saving. The guide is all about disciplined saving as the foundation. It says even small amounts can make a big difference.
It really emphasizes consistency. Even small regular savings can grow a lot over time, especially with compound interest.
Can you explain compound interest in a way that I can understand?
Okay, imagine you invest $100 today and earn 10% interest every year. After the first year, you'll have $110. But in the second year, you're earning interest not just on that original $100, but also on the $10 you made in interest, so you end up with $121.
So it's like your money is making babies, and then those babies are making babies.
Haha, yeah, that's a fun way to put it. And the longer your money's invested, the more those babies multiply, leading to huge growth over time.
That makes sense. So the sooner we start saving and investing, the more time our money has to grow.
Exactly. Even if you can only save a little bit right now, the key is to start. Be consistent and let that money work its magic over time. And speaking of letting your money work for you, the guide really gets into investing. It emphasizes that investing is where your money can really multiply.
Yeah, but investing can be kind of intimidating. Like you need to be some kind of Wall Street expert to even start.
I hear you, but the guide breaks it down into steps. Starting with diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right, so instead of putting all your money in one stock or one type of investment, we spread it out to lower the risk.
Exactly. It's like building a house. You wouldn't build it on just one pillar. You'd want multiple supports. The guide suggests exploring different asset classes like stocks, bonds, real estate, even precious metals.
It's interesting how each one reacts differently to what's happening in the market. Like during a recession, bonds might hold their value better than stocks.
Right. That's the whole point of diversification. By spreading your investments, you're less likely to lose a ton of money if one area does poorly. And the guide also says to be patient. Don't make rash decisions based on short-term market ups and downs.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the hype, especially with all the talk about hot stocks. But the guide reminds us that wealth building is a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. Patience and discipline are key. The guide also talks about something that's often overlooked: investing in yourself.
Okay, wait, so we're talking stocks, bonds, real estate, and now ourselves. I'm curious.
Think of it like this. Investing in your skills and knowledge is like buying tools. Tools that can help you earn more money and open doors to new opportunities.
So things like learning new tech, taking courses to improve our skills, going to conferences to network.
Exactly. The guide highlights some skills that are in high demand. Skills like coding, digital marketing sales, and public speaking.
So it's about staying ahead of the curve, making ourselves more valuable.
Precisely. And the great thing about investing in yourself is that it stays with you. No one can take it away.
I love that. Now, the guide also talks about entrepreneurship. It says it's not for everyone, but it can be a very rewarding path to building wealth for the right person.
Definitely. The guide lays out 3 steps to starting a business. First, you identify a need in the market. Then you start small, and then you gradually scale up.
So you don't jump in head first, you test the waters.
Exactly. Starting small helps you minimize risk and learn from mistakes as you go.
Can you give us an example of someone who followed these steps successfully?
Sure, let's say someone loves making jewelry. They start by selling their pieces at local craft fairs and online through Etsy. As demand grows, they might rent a studio space and eventually maybe even open a retail store.
So it's about starting where you are and growing as your business grows. The guide talks a lot about passion and resilience in entrepreneurship, right?
Absolutely. Building a business is tough. There will be challenges. Passion is what drives you to put in the long hours and dedication.
And resilience helps you bounce back from setbacks.
Exactly. It's about having the toughness to keep going even when it's hard. The guide also dives into debt, which a lot of people see as a bad thing, but it reminds us that debt can be a tool if you use it strategically.
Yeah, I think a lot of people avoid debt altogether, but it's not always bad.
The guide distinguishes between good debt and bad debt. High-interest debt, like credit cards or payday loans, can really hurt you financially. It can quickly spiral out of control. The guide says it's crucial to pay off these types of debt as soon as possible.
So attack those high-interest debts, but you're saying there's also good debt.
Yes, debt that can actually help you build wealth over time. This could be a student loan for a degree that helps you earn more, a mortgage for a rental property that brings in passive income, or a business loan for a venture that you believe will be profitable.
So it's about being smart with debt, not avoiding it completely.
Exactly. And the guide also warns against borrowing too much. It says to live within our means and borrow responsibly.
Makes sense. Now, the next section is all about smart spending habits. It's not just about making more money. It's about using the money you have effectively.
Absolutely. The guide emphasizes tracking expenses, prioritizing needs over wants, and becoming a good negotiator.
I have to admit, tracking expenses isn't the most fun part of this, but it's important, right?
It's essential if you want to be in control of your finances. A lot of people are surprised when they actually see where their money goes.
Yeah, it's like shining a light on those little leaks in your spending, leaks you didn't even know were there.
Exactly. The guide suggests using budgeting apps or even just a spreadsheet to keep track of your income and expenses.
And once you have that information, you can make better choices. Choices about where to cut back and where to spend more.
Right. And that brings us to the next point, prioritizing needs over wants. It's not about depriving yourself. It's about aligning your spending with what's important to you and your goals.
I think a lot of people get caught in the trap of lifestyle inflation. As they make more money, they spend more money. The guide encourages us to avoid that, right?
Absolutely. It's about being mindful of your spending, making sure your money is working for you, not against you.
I'm a big fan of negotiating, always trying to get the best deal. The guide mentions that too, right?
Yes, it talks about being a smart consumer. Whether it's negotiating a lower price on a big purchase, comparing prices before you buy anything, or taking advantage of sales and discounts.
It's like getting a mini raise every time you negotiate a better price.
Exactly. And those savings can really add up. And finally, we come to the last part of the guide. It's all about protecting the wealth you've built, like, building a strong fortress around your castle.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in earning and investing, but making sure you protect everything is just as important.
Absolutely. The guide stresses having a good plan, and it breaks it down into 3 areas: insurance, emergency funds, and estate planning.
Let's start with insurance. It's one of those things we don't always think about, but it can really save you in a tough situation.
Think about it. What if you got into a car accident without insurance? Those medical bills and legal fees could wipe out your savings and put you in a really tough spot.
It's like having a safety net to catch you when things go wrong. The guide recommends different types of insurance, right?
Yeah, it talks about the importance of health insurance, life insurance, property insurance, and liability insurance as essential parts of a financial plan.
So it's about protecting ourselves, our families, and our stuff from risks. We've talked about emergency funds a lot already, but it's worth mentioning again here.
Right. Imagine losing your job suddenly or having a major home repair. Without an emergency fund, you might have to go into debt to cover those costs.
Having that financial cushion can give you peace of mind. It means you can handle those unexpected things without hurting your long-term goals.
Exactly. And then there's estate planning, which isn't the most exciting topic, but it's crucial for making sure your assets go where you want them to if you become incapacitated or pass away.
It's about taking care of your loved ones even when you're gone.
It's a gift you give your family. It gives them clear instructions and can prevent arguments during a difficult time.
Wow, we covered so much in this deep dive. We talked about defining our own version of wealth, having the right mindset, setting smart goals, Budgeting, saving, diversifying our income, investing smart, learning new things, being entrepreneurial, using debt wisely, spending carefully, and protecting everything we've built.
And it's amazing how all those pieces work together to help you create a richer, more fulfilling life.
I think the biggest takeaway for me is the power of mindset. It's the foundation for everything else.
I agree completely. Believing in abundance, staying positive, having a long-term vision, it all starts with your mindset.
Because even if you know everything about finance, if you don't believe in yourself and your goals, it's going to be tough.
It's like if you're always focused on what you don't have and the problems in your way, you won't see the opportunities and chances to grow. But if you come at it with a positive attitude, a can-do spirit, you're more likely to find success and overcome challenges.
It reminds us that we have the power to shape our own financial future. It all starts with making that choice to change our mindset and take action.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a challenge. Think about what wealth and a fulfilling life mean to you, and what's one small step you can take today to move towards that.
Maybe it's making a budget, setting up automatic savings, reading a book about investing, or even just picturing your ideal future. Every big journey starts with a small step.
Remember, you have the power to create the life you want. Start today, stay committed, and watch as your efforts grow into something amazing.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We're excited to hear about your progress. Share your thoughts and actions with us on social media. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep building that incredible life you deserve.